Hi, Dave Snyder here. It is the 20th of January 2017, and I got a nice little weather pattern from the past I wanted to share. Let's see, the date 2014, September. So this is right around the same time as that typhoon that was over there in over by China. It's just a 4 days away, 4 days off from that super typhoon. That the picture I got of the lunar south pole pattern. But this is a really nice lunar south pole pattern too. That'll help you. Really, if you put all these layers together properly, like this right here, that weather pattern I talk about is right here. This one, and you can see that that's the same pattern as this right here. This is just it would be like this. So here you could put this over by China right here, and this would be by India. And I'm going to show you a couple. You can see the shape of India right here. See it? I thought that was pretty interesting. I got another couple images to show you. I was just going through some of my old stuff here. And this was a folder called Lunar South Pole Alignments, and I haven't looked at it for a while. Anyways, I ran across this image, and I had it aligned differently than I do now. I got it right now, I do believe, and it shows a few things, pretty interesting things. And let me show you the alignment first over the lunar south pole. This picture of the lunar south pole is backwards, flipped over backwards, and overlaid over the Earth. And nothing is actual size. Everything is pretty large. Got everything, but it's not that oversized. But I just I do that because I want people to be able to see it. And just look at that alignment. You can see it go. I mean, you can see a lot of things. You just got to. And we got this. I guess tropical storm or whatever you'd call that right off of the Azores there. That's pretty interesting. At the same time. This is what weather used to show. It used to show good stuff like this. It doesn't show this anymore, as far as I can see. I haven't been able to find it. Not since they took it away, pretty much. There's other things to work with, but this is, this was when it was good. And another thing you can see in this shape is the muffin shape, right here. The muffin shape is Antarctica. Whenever you see something that looks like a muffin, or just take a look at this still. I mean, look at that. Look at that alignment. Okay, and in the muffin shape, you just got to throw Antarctica in there. That's always Antarctica. The muffin. It looks like a muffin. This is the without ice. Picture of Antarctica without ice. And you can see this pattern where it whips up right here. It's a little bit off, but you can still see that's totally there. That is so there. And it puts the Alps, this area of Antarctica by the Alps somewhere, which kind of lines up to that pretty well, I think. But that shows Antarctica there, up north. But it doesn't mean that it was up north. It just means that it was with this area at one time. And see, like I said, you could take this and put this over by India. Now, I did this other thing. I hope I can find it. It's got to be in this list right here. I know it is, because I just did it earlier. But I don't think I titled it, unfortunately. Let me see. It's going to be at the bottom, I think. No, it's not. I'll find it. Won't take that long. Gotta be here somewhere, right in here. Nope. Oh, it was it was this one, I think. This is how I got it aligned over this, but I took this image. Was it this image? I think it was this image. So I got to copy this in here somewhere. Should be in here somewhere. Maybe I didn't copy it. Let's see. Cool to. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this is the copy I did, and you'll see. Let me show you what I did with it. Took it over here. I noticed that it had that round pattern. Let me turn this other picture off. Okay, so I kind of just noticed that it had the shape of India there, and I know that, we know that Schrodinger goes right there in that area where the typhoon takes place, and I'll show you that alignment in a minute. But look at the Bay of Bengal, and look at this line that comes down. This line probably goes along this line that's on the ocean floor. Thinking, something like that. But you can see how India goes right in there, and in the shape of the Bay of Bengal, and then you can see where Schrodinger would have been, like right in here. And it puts Europe in an interesting place, I think. Because it puts the claw print right in there, and you can see it right there. Actually, it's probably right there. That's probably where the claw print goes. I got it a little bit off still. Let me see. I mean, I'm not saying the Himalayas were together at the time, but from what I've noticed, they were. The Himalayas were definitely together with India for a long time, apparently. I don't think they were from crashing into the... Maybe they were. I don't know. Let's just see what this does. I do this. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Lines that line up really good. Look, now the line's perfect. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for a minute. Take a look at that for a while. I mean, something's going to be off, India. But I mean, when you think about the things moving, the weather's showing like trails of movement. You can even see the Himalayan curve a little bit right here. Maybe this is the desert right here. No, I think I got it right. Yeah, I got it right. Could be both. We know it moves. Okay, so that means when I bring up the this other image, oh man, I want to bring up the right one though. Let me see, where was that? I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'll have to bring up this other one that I just threw up real quick. I copied this one here. Is it this one? Yeah. See how Schrodinger falls right inside that little curve right there? Okay. Then you can bring this one up with the that other one I just showed, the first one. Coolest. This one here. See that one right there is the same thing. Same pattern. That's why I say it's all over the place. That pattern is all over the planet. And you'll see that. But really where it takes place, where this takes place is over here in China. That's what I want to show you. Where, I mean, it not necessarily takes place there, but it's original. If you're looking for the crater left, it's all going to be seen right here in the circle. It's all going to go together in the circle. So now what I need to do is shut this off, and I need to shut this off, and then I just need to go down quite a ways, way down here. And I don't think it's this one, because I think that one I moved. I think it's higher. Yeah. Okay, so let me find the right one. Just give me a second, and I'll find it. It's important. Right here. Okay, so here's Mo main impact, one I showed the other day in a video. Okay, now when I bring up, I think it's right here. Okay, so when I bring up this picture, this right here, this picture here, I just aligned it to the borders. I just overlaid it over the original place. Like here's the borders, you can see. I just got everything in the borders. See how that is? This is the overlaid image. and I just got everything in the borders as best I could. India's in there, China's in the borders. Everything's pretty good. So when you look at this picture over the top of this picture of Mare Oriental, it just confirms it again. It actually confirms this Mare Oriental picture being in the right place. Confirms it completely. Even though, I mean, you can see the pattern. You can see the pattern in that crater. But then if you look closer, like right here, you see that, like this curved edge of this here, and see how it's got that little point that sticks out. I mean, you could bring that all the way up to this edge, but it's just the way it aligns. It's just the way, you know, it is the right alignment though. Like you can see this crater over here in the weather just a little bit. That's what they took out. See, you can see a circular pattern right there. And there's Lake Toba right there. So that was probably a huge volcano right there. That this, you know, that crater could be from hitting that volcano, whatever. But you see the line and the pattern. See the texture? I mean, that I didn't align these two together. This was weather. I mean, I just realigned this weather image over the same place it was seen at. You can see the borders all aligned. It's right. It's not oversized. This is the actual size of this weather pattern. Okay. And then when you see it, me bring the other one up, this one, it's the same pattern. I mean, all the way up to the pyramid. You got the pyramid in China with the eye in the center, pretty much, and there's the Lowell crater right there to create that. I mean, look at this point right here. See this point? I can see that right there, and I got another one to show you too. I just remembered. Okay, so oh, is it that one? Actually, yeah. Okay, so here, bring this one up, and you see the ring. See the rings in Mare Oriental. Watch this when I bring this one up. See how this curve and the weather breaks in the same exact place? There's like a big band right there. Look. It just falls into place on its own that way. Look at that. That is really cool. That just shows again that this is an accurate alignment of Mare Oriental at this size over the Orient. Basically, this is over the Orient right here. 3,200 miles across. Just that crater on the moon, 3,200 miles across. This is an actual impact. I mean, look, if anybody can believe that a planet hit the Earth and was destroyed and it disappeared, then why is it so hard to believe that the moon is actually the size of a planet and has hit the Earth and it's still right there? Why is that hard to believe? If you can, I mean, everybody seems to have no problem believing that some other planet hit the Earth and just, you know, just disintegrated, vaporized, and turned into the moon. I mean, I think it's easier to believe that it was the moon, and there is the moon right there, a planet. It's the size of a planet, no matter what you look at, no matter what way you look at it. The prints are on the Earth. The prints are on the Earth. You don't get the same. You don't get a big crater from a small moon. From a distance, especially. I don't care how strong its magnetic pull is or whatever, or how much electricity it discharges or whatever. And all the continents start off in this hole. I just showed the South America weather here just the other day in the Indian Ocean, which puts South America in this location during the same Mare Oriental. If you line up Mare Oriental to South America, it lines up the same way. South America, the point will be right here. It'll be the same. So South America could not have been there at the time of the Mare Oriental impact. It had to be right in this spot. That's what, because it shows its weather over there. But then we have it also here in this location, right here, where it was once at one time, right here. Now I don't think it. I used to think that it starts off here, and that's possible. I mean, you know, it could have went this direction from here, this way. Africa was with it too. Africa was over here too, because we have weather that shows Africa in this area too. So that puts Africa in the same hole, being created in the same hole. North America being in the same hole. This area being created from the same hole, just moving aside, being pushed aside. And not only did Mare Oriental affect this one spot on the Earth, but so did the lunar South Pole, obviously. Because there it is, in the same hole. And not only that, not only the lunar South Pole, and I'm going to say this is the actual South Pole, not this, not this part. I'm saying Schrodinger is the actual South Pole. That's what I would say. I wouldn't just say this is the whole lunar South Pole. I'd say that is the pole spot right there. That's what I would say. Because it all heartens right there. It all comes, and you can also put Imbrium. Also, is from the same spot. Tycho, same thing. We know Tycho goes. I mean, it's all from this like one area. So all the continents like come from this hole. They call it the Ring of Life, whatever. But they all come wherever this hole has been, or wherever it come from, or whatever. South America was definitely there. North America was definitely there. We see the Philippine pattern over North America in the weather, so we know that. And some of the images I showed the other day, the one with North America, that was a good one. It shows Japan like, where's Japan in this picture? It's right up here, right? Well, anyways, it put like Japan. When I put North America up here, it puts Japan like in the Atlantic, and we can see in the Atlantic all the time, right here, the shape of Japan in the weather. Especially on that Null School. Null School shows the shape of Japan right here perfectly, and Japan ends up being like right here when you overlay North America over this area over here. So I mean, there's a lot of configurations. I just wanted to point out a couple. This is the lunar South Pole pattern. I just showed a couple good examples of it. This one and the first one I showed at the beginning of the video, and it just shows that Australia was in there. You could bring Australia up in this too. Everything comes from this hole. It all comes from that hole. These are just the islands that are being created now. I mean, a continent could be created here over time. Again, possibly. And probably the moon is probably still attracted to this spot more so than the actual poles of the Earth, I think, because this is where the monsoon is, the moonsoon, and it's where the weather is. It's where all the major volcanoes are. This is the hottest place on the Earth. That's what I mean, it's got the hottest ocean temperatures in that location right there. The water's like 87 degrees or something like that in the ocean. Where I live, if you go in the ocean, it's cold. It's like in the 50s or lower. It's cold. So yeah, I mean that's warm water, and it's all you can see. This is all showing you the surface of the Earth. This stuff right here is showing you something that's going on the ocean floor. All of this weather here, not random. Showed all the time. This is a pattern that shows all the time. Anyways, didn't want to make the video too long, but that's something you're going to want to check out. I mean, that's just another confirmation right there. And I had some other ones I wanted to show you with the Antarctica muffin thing, like I showed at the beginning of the video. I had some other ones, but when I run across them again, I'll make a video about it. Unless I run across them right now all of a sudden. I'll just wait. Alright, everybody have a good weekend. Thanks for watching.